I have a good word for you to start your week out with, and I'm going to talk about the God filter, seeing things through a God filter, which is very, very important. You know, we all have a worldview. It's just the way we see things, and some people have a worldview that leads to encouragement and success and all good things. Some people have a worldview that omits God, and it makes all the difference in the world. Psalm 16:8, this is a psalm of David. David said, I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Now, David went through all kinds of horrific circumstances in his life. And what he's talking about is he had learned, when you say, I have set the Lord always before me, this is a mindset. It's not a physical act, it's a mental act. And what he means is every problem that came into his life, he saw it through a God filter. What does that mean? He knew God was there. I have set the Lord always before me. So Goliath, by the way, when Goliath came against the troops of Israel, these were trained adult soldiers shaking in their boots. They were terrified of Goliath. And you know, for 40 days, he came and taunted the armies of Israel and cursed God in front of them. Well, this little kid, David, who is an old shepherd boy, he shows up at the battle line and he hears Goliath taunting the armies of Israel and cursing their God, and everybody else is afraid. He gets mad and he said, who is that uncircumcised Philistine down there? And when he attacked Goliath, he said, you come against me with sword and spear, I come against you in the name of the living God. Well, what's he talking about? See, God is bigger than every giant you're facing. And see, what the troops of Israel, they just saw Goliath. See, fear is reality minus God. If you want to live in fear, just take the God filter off and just compare the problem with yourself. This is what causes fear. The disease that I'm dealing with, the financial issues I'm dealing with, the people, the enemies, the rejection, all these things, the world circumstances that are going on. I see these things, but I don't see God in it. And some people, you know, there's a book that's called When People Are Big and God is Small. And for some people, we just don't have a very big God. And because of that, our circumstances are overwhelming to us. David said, I have set the Lord always before me, not when it's convenient, but always before me, because he is at my right hand. Because I know he's with me, I will never be moved. No circumstance, no problem, no giant, no mountain, no issue that I'll ever face is ever going to move me. It's not going to change me in a negative way. And so you see this in people's lives every single day. Right now, because of world circumstances, many Christians are living in fear. 70% of Protestant pastors who were surveyed said that fear has significantly risen in their congregation in the last 2 years because of world events. Now, this is even before the war in Israel broke out. And so I'm sure it's off the charts today. Many Christian people, I talk to many Christian people all the time, who are living in fear. Well, so because of what's happening in the world, and what's happening in the world right now is horrible, but it's prophesied. And the Bible tells us what's going to happen. The Bible prophecy tells us what's going to happen in advance, and it tells us that God is in all of it. See, when I look at Israel right now, God is there. God is in Israel. Hamas is not in control. The crazies over there are not in control. God is in control. God is in control of world events. God is in control of Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, the United States. He's in control of all the nations of the world. We're not in control. He's in control. He is so much in control that he told us thousands of years ago it was going to happen, and it's happening. He controls these circumstances. He controls every single detail of your life and the people around you, whether we realize it or not. And so what the devil wants for you is he wants you to see without God. He wants you to see your circumstances so that he can bring fear into your life and anxiety into your life, keep you upset. And see, when you're living in fear, you're making bad choices. See, God only honors faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Hebrews tells us. And so God only honors faith. He never honors a fear-based decision. And the purpose of fear is to get us to make a fear-based decision that will harm us and that God won't honor. But the purpose of faith is to get us to obey God and do the right thing regardless of our circumstances. Psalm 23:4, this is also a psalm of David. You know this psalm. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you're with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So David is talking here about the shadow of death. This is not the shadow of a headache or a hangnail. This is the shadow of death. This means death is looming over you. And David said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't fear, because you're with me. See, when you understand, Hebrews 13:5, God says, I will never leave you. This is to you. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. You know what that means? And by the way, leave means physical, forsake means emotional. It means turning your heart away from someone. Did you know that God, in His covenant commitment and love for you, that He has promised you He will never physically leave you and He'll never turn His heart away from you? I don't know how many bad things you've done. We've all done bad things. But can I tell you, in spite of anything that you've done, God is in love with you and God's paying attention to you right now. Jesus says He knows every hair on your head. He knows every detail of your life, and He cares. He's a loving Father. And so what I'm saying to you is you're going to go through stuff, but as a world right now. You know, we're going through stuff. Individually, we're going through stuff. Maybe your family, maybe your marriage or whatever. Can I tell you that God is with you? Can I tell you need to kind of calm down? And don't let the devil bring circumstances into your life. You're always going to be dealing with stuff. But don't let him bring circumstances into your life that take your eyes off of God. Every day when you wake up and you pray and you read the Bible, you're putting on a God filter. And like David, you're making yourself a promise that says, because God is before me, I have set Him before me. He's in my mindset. Because He's with me, nothing is going to move me in my life. And in my life, I lived for many of my years of my life and ministry living in fear. Just fear of people, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of fill in the blank. And it wears you out. It's just the worst existence on earth to live in constant fear until I got to the point of doing what David is talking about. My mind is set on the presence of God. And because He is with me, nothing's going to overcome me. Nothing's going to take me out because God is with me. I'm saying to you today, God loves you more than you can possibly comprehend. He's with you right now. Whatever you're facing, look through the God filter at it. Goliath, an enemy, a mountain, a problem, a sickness, a family problem, you know, whatever it might be. I want you to see it through that God filter, and I want you to trust God to lead you through that, to help you to overcome that, in the midst of it, to live in peace. Put the God filter on, keep it on. You're going to need it. In the days to come, we've got more things that are going to happen, but as believers, we have been promised victory through Jesus Christ. God bless you.